Lawmakers in the Federal Parliament of St. Kitts and Nevis, the National Assembly, discussed matters relating to the Eastern Caribbean Citizenship by Investment Regulatory Authority Agreement Bill 2025 during its second reading on 17 October 2025. Establishing the authority is expected to ensure all member states of the Oecs that are engaged in C.B.I. programs adhere to high standards and common regulations and procedures, including due diligence and several new adoptions. One of the new features of the intended regional legislation is the residency requirements for C.B.I. applicants who are approved. Attorney General Garth Wilkins, speaking in the National Assembly during the second reading of the bill, provided insight into the residency requirements.
The exterior requires that every main applicant and every listed dependent must commit to a genuine and effective link via residency and integration obligations before grant and for renewals. This is a major change in citizenship by investment in the Caribbean. Every applicant and dependent, meaning if it's a family of four, mother, father, daughter, son, you must come to St. Kitts and Nevis for 5 days within the first 12 months after you were granted citizenship. You must come to St. Kitts and Nevis for at least 5 days within the first 12 months after you are granted citizenship. Now, over the first 5 calendar years after you are granted citizenship, you must spend at least 30 days in St. Kitts and Nevis to qualify you to have a renewal of your passport. What that means is, though, the whole family does not necessarily have to come. The whole family must come for 5 days, not necessarily together, but in the first year. After the first year, in the subsequent 4 years, at least one member. So in other words, if there's a father, mother, daughter, son, the father could come for 15 days, and then the mother and the 2 children can come for another 15 days, and that will make up the 30 days that qualifies for renewal of your passport. Now, this is also very important. I think our people will be happy to know that the 5 countries agreed to this. There is a mandatory program that may include civic education, cultural orientation, community service, or an interview. So this is in-person or virtual. So in other words, any new citizens, after this is implemented, will have to take almost like a test to test if they understand our culture. The people are familiar with this because in the US, there is usually a test, correct, member, for number one? There's a test you must do before you can be granted your citizenship. So this is what we call the genuine link. Somebody who has applied to become a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis through providing for an investment in our country must then understand our country to be able to hold our passport.
Once the legislative requirements are met in all of the participating C.B.I. operating Oecs countries, a launch date will be set for the common start of the new rules under the supervision of the authority. Glenn Barth reporting for SK Newsline.